So we noticed that we had a little bit of a water leak here. This leads into our restrooms. And right around the corner we've got an ice maker with water on the floor. Initially my first thought was drain line, and that we were gonna have to empty this bin and pull the whole thing out and replumb the drain line on the back. So I got a shop vac and I backed out the lines thinking maybe they were a little bit plugged up, and they weren't. And that didn't really solve the issue. If you look closely, down here, I don't have a flashlight, but it's still dripping. So I went up and I looked in here, and there's water. Oh, I do have a flashlight. A little bit of standing water in that channel. So the red valve is your water dump valve, and above it and around the corner is a yellow valve, water inlet. Let's take a look at that. That guy, the yellow one, that's your water inlet valve. It's not leaking now because I shut the water off, but I watched it drip out of that yellow between the solenoid and the yellow plastic housing. The good news is we have a spare. So the one that's in the machine looks like it might be leaking either here or where we can't see from here. My guess is here. There's a seal in here. It's probably gone bad. The fun part is that we are working in a very confined space. So these little, focus. These two screws where my flashlight's highlighting are gonna hold a series of brackets on. So we'll need to start there, take those off, and work our way to other fasteners that we can't quite reach now. So the screws that came in the bag with the new part have a 1/4 inch head on it, so I brought one. But those are not a 1/4 inch, those are 5/16. So I had to go back to the shop and get a 5/16 socket. You can't see what I'm doing, you can't see anything. We're simply loosening the two screws. Those two screws, that's it, nothing special. So we've gone ahead and unplugged the power plug to the solenoid coil, and this is such an awkward angle to try and get video in, right? But the two screws that we just took out allowed the whole bracket to kind of pivot away. Then you slide it up a little bit and finagle it out. Easier said than done. Let's look at this one because it's going to be a little easier. You've got a quick connect fitting in here with a red plastic clip that retains it in. So on the one in here, we're going to have to remove the red plastic clip and remove our incoming water line. That's the only thing holding us up right now. This tubing will, hold on, let me show you. This will be assembled on here. This is a new piece. We're going to replace this as well because it's attached to the unit that's currently installed. But we need to go through here to get our incoming water line disconnected, and you can see it's kind of too small to like stuff a cell phone into, so we're gonna skip this part. Well, I can't get that incoming water line disconnected. I've been struggling with it for a couple minutes, but maybe what we do is we just give it a little trim right there, snippy snip, and then we'll be allowed to remove it. So here's our old one out. We're gonna transfer our base plate over to the new one. Easy peasy. So for anybody who might have thought, hey, that's a small area to work through, you're right. Then it dawned on me, the side panel is removable. Yeah, haven't had enough coffee yet this morning. Yeah, go through the side panel or through the top. It doesn't all have to go through this little hole. Alright, so we've got her, still can't see nothing here, huh, through the forest of wires. we've got her bolted back in. Water is connected. The next step, we're going to turn the water valve on and check for leaks before we power it back up. So we've got our water in, we've got our power on. We're going to go into service, diagnostics. Let's go inputs. No, that's not it. Control board. Enable all relays. So that's going to enable all of our relays. We're pumping water, we're draining water, we're checking for leaks. Good. No leaks to be found. No drips. We're good to go. All right. I guess that's going to do it. We're good.